What's up, y'all? This is Mike Stud. I'm live with HoustonHipHopFix.com in Houston, Texas. Turn up.
Hey, this is Protocol with HoustonHipHopFix.com. I'm in the building, or matter of fact, in the bus with Mike Stud, the one and only. Man, that concert was like a house party, man. The Back to You tour. You're in Houston right now. I think did you just leave Dallas?
Yes, we did Dallas last night. This is our fourth show so far. So we started in Arizona, and then our last three shows been in Texas. But we love Texas, man. We're really trying to grow out here. Like, this is an amazing place. We came from Austin. It's like one of the live music capitals of the world, but we're really just trying to campaign out here and make fans, because it's not as big as the rest of the country for us. It really isn't, and it's kind of cool though. It feels like it's starting to like bubble out here, and people are really starting to catch on and listen. So it's exciting, man. We have a good time with it.
Absolutely. The Southwest is a little bit more organic right now, but if you keep throwing these house parties like you did tonight, there's no doubt that you guys will be. I mean, I had a lot of fun. Your fans are crazy about you and your music. So I just want to talk about fan loyalty right now. They're crazy about you, and you have, I think, College Humor. Wikipedia says 1.4, but actually I checked it today and it's 1.5 million views. How do you think? Where do you draw the loyalty with your fans?
It's I honestly think just like human beings can sense when another human being is being honest. You know what I mean? And I think it's like in hip hop, there's a huge kind of, I guess one of the most important things for people as listeners is like, this dude's real. You know what I mean? I connect with him. It feels organic. It feels honest. It feels real. I feel like more than any other genre of music, like hip hop depends on that. And in the same breath, I think a lot of people in hip hop, there's certain things in hip hop that become stereotypical or become, something that gets pigeonholed into one thing. And, in the beginning of my career, I was a college-age kid. I was in college. Really, what I was doing was going to class. I was playing baseball, and I was making music. And, I think there was a whole scene that was kind of stereotyped as a frat rap music or college age music. Yeah, exactly. And it was a thing, though. You know what I mean? It was a thing that was bubbling at the time, and it's come and gone. And I think what we've done and what we've focused on most is climbing out of that stereotype. And honestly, the whole thing's been honest. You know what I mean? Since then, I'm no longer a college student. I live in Los Angeles. This is my career, and my music's grown and changed and evolved out of that. And that's kind of been like the coolest and most fun part for me, is like being able to stay honest and genuine, but also grow out of that phase of music that at that point that was me. You know what I mean? But with my fans, I think the reason I'm able to continue to grow, or at least like, even out here, the fan base is small, but if you are a fan of mine, like you're a true fan. You know all the words. None of the songs are on the radio. You know what I mean? None of them are hits, but if you go to the show, everyone knows all the words. They're true fans. You know what I mean? So it's an amazing relationship I have. I feel like I know a ton of my fans on social media. I'm the one running it. I'm still the one doing it and answering the questions and tweeting what I'm tweeting. So I think fans connect with that.
I definitely think they do. Just talking about how you connect with your fans. Started out the concert having a beer, right? You busted out the beer with your fans and had a beer with the first beer, or the first drinks of many to come. You did make sure everyone was 21, so I just want to throw that out there. Taking shots with your fans. I saw you after the show signing autographs and things like that. I want to go ahead and just touch on that period from frat rap. You dropped College Humor. That was, I think, was that 2010 that you made it? It was 2012?
2011, like the first day of 2011. I remember when we put it out, it was New Year's Day, and it was kind of just this new thing. I was like, fuck it, let's do it. You know what I mean? I remember putting it out, and we made that video. We thought it was the only video we'd ever shoot. Like, it was really that. Like, if people understood how much of a long shot this whole music, even the whole career, really. You know what I mean? I did not... when I first started dabbling with music, I didn't foresee any of this, and I think that's why I'm able to just have fun with it. Because this isn't something I've worked on my whole life. I kind of fell into this accidentally, and it's become like my life. You know, it's become my passion. It's the only thing I really care about and think about, and it's been like a beautiful kind of second chance for me. You know what I mean? At first it was baseball, and now I have this, and it's been amazing.
All right, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, talking about baseball, you had a surgery, TCL or TJL?
TCL,
right? Okay, TJL. Okay. Now I listened. I'm really glad I had a chance to go back and listen to some of your music, all the way up to the present. And with these days, right now, 2016, we're gonna make our way to that. All right, let's do our history first. So in 2011, you made College Humor. You know, already over 1.5 million views, and that was on A Toast to Tommy.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
You did a little homework.
A little homework, man. All right. Now, I'm noticing that you're putting out albums every year. Okay. Relief. You know, with the Thanks track, Closer. This isn't an album. You're releasing albums every year. I want to know why. What's the plan? And you describe yourself as not your fans or your label. You're staying independent. What's that about?
Honestly, the whole thing is kind of it's based off feedback. Like I focus so much on what the fans are saying and what the reaction to everything I put out. You know, like they're shooting a TV show on it now. They're kind of following our touring, but they're really following the story of like the viral artist who kind of runs his own business and tries to make it. And that's what it is, man. It's a business, and really, like, I mean, every single thing I put out, every single thing I release to the public, it's like a case study. You know what I mean? It really is. It's like, man, are people taking to it? Why do you think they are? Why do you think they aren't? You know what I mean? And that's kind of been my approach to the whole thing. Has been, you know, when you talk about how much music I put out, I mean, it's based off my experience. If you don't put out music for a month, these kids will start to forget about you. There's another dude putting out music who's doing it in his dorm room too, and doing it, you know, on his own too, and he's dope too. You got to just stay in these people's faces, and I think that's been the most important thing. Obviously, you don't want to rush, you know, you don't want to rush and sacrifice quality, you know, your quality for your quantity, but at the same time, I really, really hustle. Like we all the dudes on this bus are hustling. They're all my best friends, but they all are my employees, and they really work, man. Like I'm able to do and put out music and tour and do all this stuff because we really are working. We don't have any representation. You know, I mean, obviously I have agents and managers, but I don't have a label. We haven't done a deal. Not one record label has given us creative control in any of their deals. And I'm not going to do a record deal until I get that, because I honestly, truly don't think any of the labels have truly kind of, even in conversation, I didn't feel like any of them really understood what we're doing musically or what we're trying to do. They try to categorize me with the next white rapper, you know what I mean? And I think it's just different. It's just different, and I'm hoping one day they just see it and give it to us and let us rock, because I feel like, you know, I'm not naive. I understand what a label can do for us. I understand what a label could do for my career, but I'm not gonna take that risk and sacrifice and put at risk everything we've sacrificed, you know, for an opportunity to get money. Because at the same time, everything we've done in the last 4 years can go down the tubes when we do a deal that's not right for us. I think that's a huge misconception. The public eye thinks when you get a record deal, you made it, and it's not the case. It's not the case anymore. So we're just being cautious, and the reason I put out so much music is because I have to. We just got to stay in these kids' faces and keep growing.
That's interesting that you talk about it like a business. Because that's what it is, and everybody knows that it is. So with you staying independent and just penetrating this subculture, it's really interesting, because I was talking to them, and I was talking about how, I mean, these people are really into your music. You know, I think you started out with the national anthem, and you know, you're really just close with your fans, but you're also close with the people that work around you. So I want you to just go into some of the things that go into working with your family, because I think you were with Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football, not too long ago.
Last night we were in Dallas, and Johnny Football, Chandler Parsons, Tyler Sagan. They're all like very, very. I mean, at the front of pop culture in sports. These dudes are like kind of the young, handsome dudes who are playing their, young and thriving in their sport, but also in pop culture. They're out at concerts. People see them out in public. They're out there. They're under 25 years old. They're just having a good time. And that's honestly like, you hear me talk about it on stage, but that's a huge part of our lane is sports. All my fans, a lot of my fans are athletes, ex-athletes, or at least have a passion for athletics. And it shines through the music, but it shines through the fan base and like the people that are openly supporting it. The only real like cool people that know about me and like openly support it are athletes. I don't have any cool cosigns in the industry or anything like that. It's no one. I think a lot of people don't even really take us seriously. I think once you come around and see it and actually like really listen in an unbiased way, you see that it's real.
Well, that's interesting that you say that because it's not uncommon for you to have someone. I think you had someone from the Cincinnati Reds at your concert tonight, and that's pretty interesting that you have that fan base with sports. That's pretty unique. I think also when you were with Johnny Football, you were with Ryan Silverstein, OVO Ryan, as you know. So talking about him being someone who runs the OVO crew. But not really having those endorsements, those stamps like we see. Is that something that you're proud of as an artist? Is that something that are you looking for? Are you looking forward to collaborations? Tell us more about the industry and why we don't see Mike Stud doing these features, because we know you could. Talk about that.
Truly, one is a label situation. If you have a label, these dudes are, you're basically getting, in the infrastructure of your deal, you're getting features, you're choosing your features, you're doing them, and that's just completely not a part of our system right now. Like, we don't have, before every project comes out, we go through a phase of offers, and we haven't come close to doing a deal with anyone. And it's nothing personal or like nothing naive about us. It's honestly, like I said, I just don't feel like anyone's getting what we're doing at all. They're just taking a quick look at it and not really taking, what it actually is if you really take a hard look at it. You know what I mean? So, as far as, Ryan, that shit's organic. Like, my best friend is Marcus Stroman. He's a baseball player for the Toronto Blue Jays. Very, very cool. Like I said, very at the face of what's next in pop culture, like African-American baseball player, successful, smart. I went to school with him at Duke. And that's how Ryan heard my music. And Ryan reached out and was just like, man, I fuck with you, man. Like, I haven't been this excited about someone since his boy Aubrey Drake. And I said, hey, man, when you're in LA, come through. And he came out and we just linked up. And like, he was there for half the records on this new album I was making them. And he was just in there vibing, you know what I mean? But he's somebody who just like really connects with our brand. I think he really connects to how we're just kind of like a bunch of brothers kind of rolling around, having fun and having fun with it.
Having fun right now.
Yeah, he's having fun right now. Yeah, he's a baller, you know what I mean? But he basically came on and it was like, man, he's like, I basically want to be involved. I want to help you. And he's already doing it. Like, I think partially the reason a lot of these athletes, a lot of these cool people in Dallas that even came out, like Chandler Parsons and Johnny Football, I've spoke with them, but they had never come to a show. Ryan was kind of the one to connect those dots for me. So there's value in having people like that around. And when they want to do it organically, it's the only way things are going to come. Like, when shit's organic and people truly like have a passion for it, that's when you're going to see results. So, that was a no-brainer when you want to get involved. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Speaking of organic, I was security with the beer. What's his name? Security.
My guy, Jerry.
I was speaking to Jerry, and we were just talking about, again, back to the house party. That's the feeling that, seriously, I really enjoyed myself.
That's what's up.
It was a really good show. That was my first time ever being to a show. I really enjoyed myself, and I found myself drinking a few more beers than I normally would. So basically, the next step I'm seeing, come to Houston a few more times. But speaking of baseball, I'm thinking you guys should maybe go to Minute Maid and have your concert there. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
We it's not crazy because we've already our relationships in media have been mainly sports based. It's not like cool hip hop blogs. It's not like your upper echelon Billboard or anything trying to have come out and follow our. It's always sports based media that's like, whoa, we fuck with this kind of story and we want to. It's a cool crossover lane for them. So. Deals like that and the ESPN. My first TV appearance wasn't performing live on Conan or anything like that. It was on ESPN, and that's kind of the lane we're going for. But man, those are like the dream partnerships for us are crossover Major League Baseball events. You know what I mean? And that's something that we already have in the works. So you're already sniffing it out. But that's really like kind of the end goal for us. We want to do different shit. We want to be able to like really kind of crossbreed the athletic culture with hip hop, and not necessarily, baseball is not a sport you ever correlate to hip hop. So I understand the dichotomy. I understand it's different, but if we could kind of just break through in a cool, organic way, I think everyone will like it. It's cool. You know what I mean? It's a cool relationship.
I think so, and I'm just gonna say this since we're on a roll here. You watch First Take? Skip Bayless, Steve. Okay, I'm saying, I think Wale's on there right now still. Okay, maybe we need to get Mike Dudd on there.
I think so too, man. I did Sports Nation. Okay. I did Sports Nation so far, so I want to get up near Skip too, because one of my first songs, College Humor, has a Skip Bayless lyric. I've always think he's I'm not a huge fan of him, but I think he's obviously a rock star. He's an opinionated dude and has made a living out of being opinionated. So that's cool. I respect it. I definitely want to get on there.
I think you should. That'd be interesting. Maybe the fan. We're on a roll. Maybe even the fans might just get to hear something on the instrumental and ESPN picks it up. I don't know. I'm gonna move on. Back to tour.com. Yes. Is that where the fans can go?
Yes. Backtoyoutour.com is really where just the tour information lives. So we just got started. This is our 4th show. We got like 36 or 37 more. So we're on the road. We're gonna go basically a huge circle around the country. We're heading east now, and then we'll circle back around. But yeah, like I said, Southwest is our smallest area. We need to keep growing out here. So. Feels like it's starting to bubble, and it's cool. I remember how this felt in other places, and now we're heading east, which gets bigger for us, so it'll be fun.
Absolutely. And we talked about these days the project out that's right now, another project out 2016. The cover. I was talking to my girlfriend. I called it artwork. I was showing it. She said that's not artwork. That's a cover. So the collage on there. There's a lot of different pictures on there. I'm just curious, what are those pictures? I see spell check and stuff like. What is that about?
These days, the message of these days is living in the moment. It's not about looking ahead. It's not about in the past. It's just about these days right now. These days are the glory days. Is basically like what I was trying to say with these days, and basically all those pictures on that. It's kind of like a mood board we made, and it's basically like. It feels like our life in these days right now in these pictures, and it's just kind of like everything that's, we picked out the Polaroids. We had been taking Polaroids the whole year. We moved to LA, and I made this album, and it just felt like those were the moments of like these days. It kind of encapsulated it all and put it in one place, and the message is basically just to enjoy these days, man, because. It really are the glory days. You don't know when it ends. You don't ever know when it ends. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just one of those. I always try to have a bigger message in my projects and what I'm trying to say overall. So that was the message, and I felt like that cover. It was like me and my homies drunk, putting together this mood board, and it was like, fuck it, man. Like we don't, like we do everything on our own anyway. We didn't need to think so crazy about this crazy theme. You know what I mean? Just go with what felt right and what felt true, and that was that. So I'm glad you looked at that, because a lot of people are sleeping on that.
Yeah. I mean, it was just my observation. So that's pretty interesting also with the Polaroids, because today we're all on our phones, and there's like a light show in there, and so I mean that's pretty interesting, and it has that organic feel that you're talking about with the Polaroids. That's the stuff I grew up on. I think we were both born in '88. All right. So last but not least, bring things to a conclusion here. Two of my favorite songs are Swish. You started off with that. I think that's the longest song on there, too. The songs are coming back to back on there. Swish and Black Eye. Okay, those are my favorite songs. Do you have any favorite songs on the album?
My favorites are Swish and Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is like a song I think it's forward, man. I think it's forward thinking. I made that. Ryan was there that night. I freestyled. I freestyled the whole record. And he was there, and it was basically like one of these situations where I actually was feeling like that. And it was one of those moments where I felt like I conveyed like some really honest, organic, content on a record. And like there's literally, just there was one of my homies playing the guitar, and it had all happened in like 30 minutes. We made that whole song front to back. And that song just feels, I just feel like it's honest and organic. I think it's different. It's not really hip hop. It's not really anything else. It just kind of lives in its own world. And I think if my music gets to a big enough platform, I think that song is something that, like, on a widespread level, people could appreciate.
So when we're talking about your growth from a Toast to Tommy to right now where you are with These Days, it's kind of leaving the college behind, older but still young, you know what I'm saying? And you're really in the prime. It seems we're not even reaching the prime. But with those songs and having your favorites there, what's your message to fans with These Days, and what are you looking forward to after this?
I mean, the biggest thing we're trying to do is grow. I think, and honestly, the coolest part about my fan base is that they've been willing to just watch me grow, maybe go through some growing pains. You know what I mean? And I think the music just now is getting to a place where it's cool. I feel proud about it. You know what I mean? At certain points in the past, I'd play certain records for people and maybe not play other records for people. And now I just play the whole project for someone and be like, yeah, I like this shit. Like, if you don't like it, fuck it. But I like this shit. And that's really all we're doing, is making our own music. As long as my homies like it, it's coming out. You know what I mean?
Already.
That's what it is, man. And I think we all feel the same way about it. When you got a whole group of homies that are not only your employees but your best friends, and everyone equally excited about something you're working on, it's exciting, man. I'm excited about this record. I think it's going to live. I think it's going to be the first record I made that actually lives and grows over time. Well, at least that's the hope. But I know I'm proud of it. So.
Exactly, man, and I'm glad that you kept elaborating on that, because even though we're wrapping things up, it came to me that there are a lot of different types of songs. That was something that I heard. Listen to your early music. There was, I see that how there's a carousel of genres. Right. So I'm glad about that. You got girls waiting outside. We could barely get on the bus. They're waiting outside. You got things to do and people to see. But we're glad you stopped through the city, man. Hey. All right. Any last words?
Man, my big shout out to anyone who's even listening for the first time. Go check it out. The record is called These Days, and the biggest message is you never know. Ever.
All right. Houston Hip Hop Fix Protocol. We out.